Welcome to June. How excited am I that I'm gonna do this? This video is for the ladies who were on the coaching call, the very first coaching call ever for the Body Energetix Gamified coaching community. It was so amazing. I loved it. We did 2 hours. I was thinking that we were just going to keep it to an hour, but what I think I'm going to do is just leave these to be open-ended, however long it takes. And with the awareness that if somebody does have a time limit, that person's going to go first. Because we really need the space to let these emotions come to the surface, and it comes through deepening the conversation. So I was really excited that we were so thorough in creating that space for the inner child and the adaptive teenager to show up, and then also to create a strategy with a tool and an accountability plan. This video is for the ladies who are on the call and also the runners up of 4, 5, and 6. So this is what you all get. I recorded 3 podcast episodes that are a deepening for each one of the participants on the Gamified coaching call. On the internet, they are going to be released once a week. In the community, you have access to all 3 of them as soon as they're edited. And runners up 4, 5, and 6, plus the actual ladies who got coached, you will have a worksheet PDF that you can use to deepen the understanding that's on these trainings. Training number 1 is about brain and heart coherency breathing. And we're really looking at that to make a connection with the mindsets that are associated with the suppressed emotions and the emotions that are associated with complex PTSD. So complex trauma that are attacks, multiple attacks. And what this happens with the inner child is the inner child disassociation means that the inner child's brain just creates reality based on whatever it has access to in that moment, that's not from an intuitive place, and that is not from a place of instruction from the adult, because it's really because the adults are harming us in some way, especially the emotional way. So we're going to take a look at that in training number 1. Training number 2 is about the 3 daily nutritional commitments. And this is especially for the anxious attachment style, because when we don't have the external validation from our caregivers to, say that like, yeah, like our feelings are normal, like we're not a bad kid for feeling this way, or like, yeah, like that makes sense. When we don't have that external validation happen, or we are attacked emotionally from a caregiver, we have to create the external validation, or in that moment, we have to create some sort of validation. And because we don't have the support coming from the caregiver, we're left to our own devices. So whatever material we've been exposed to with cartoons or movies or our peers, or the behaviors that we've seen adults exhibit, we're going to make sense of this bad feeling that's happening in our body as our fault. And what ends up happening in the realm of diet and exercise with the anxious attachment to love, which we are pedestalizing the dream body, we make the habits our external validator that we're good, because it feels really good to check the box. But then what happens is when we get stressed and we can't continue with that meticulous slash maybe, borderline obsessiveness, we can't keep up with our habits. So then we backslide. And so we're really looking at the DNCs for the anxious attachment to take that external validation off, which is going to be extremely triggering, because that external validation gives us a dopamine hit that covers up our negative emotions. And then training number 3 is protein at the beginning of day and end of day. And this is just one habit that this person is doing. And the reason why it's just one habit this person is doing is because she is a very empathetic, with big energy type of a person. In the Dream Body module, you'll see stuff about our charts. So there's these energetic blueprints that lots of people all over the world say and believe that this is what our soul decided to experience in this lifetime. And the themes of growth usually don't come in a pleasant way. And so using our charts, we're able to kind of take a look at ourselves from an objective point of view of what we're naturally inclined to do. So she's got a big energetic profile that can feel and sense a lot. And if our brain's job is to interpret energy through emotion, because that's what we name it, so that we give a word to it, when we are interpreting a lot of stimulus, it's a lot to keep up with in the brain because the brain is having to stay focused on whatever it is that we're doing. And the brain is also like getting all this influx of stimulus. And so it could be very disorienting. So that's what this person's energetic profile is like. And that's the same. We have the same profile, manifesting generator 6-2, which means there's a whole lot. And our life experience, the first third of our life, is a lot of crash and burn, phoenix rising moments, but we accumulate wisdom. And it takes a regulated nervous system to get that experience into wisdom so that we can help other people and we can stay grounded when we're triggered. The other part of it with the 2 line, it's a manifesting Jenner 6-2. Go, watch the modules so that you can have a better understanding. But the 2 line is that we're basically a Swiss Army knife of information of whatever it is that we have this interest in. So clearly for me, it has to do with fitness, it has to do with energy, it has to do with the healing journey, has to do with the experience of life. I'm interested in all of that stuff, how everything works. And so that's what this person's profile is naturally. But then also her childhood experience had a lot of bracing, emotional bracing. Is this person going to attack me? Which I felt that same way with my 4 caregivers. So for this person, because there is so much stimulus coming at her, and there's like a Rolodex of possibilities that her mind can create meanings out of each time she has an emotional experience. She only has one job to do, which is to feed her body protein in the morning and night. That's the only structural thing we're giving her right now because we are giving her a slow containment process so that she doesn't feel really restrictive. Because when you have that much energy going on and you've had a lot of emotional attack, it's it's almost suffocating to give yourself too many things to do, and it just backfires. So that's what that person's working on. So you have these 3 trainings. Everybody's going to get a PDF to have accountability. And then also, I want to invite you to the new part of the wall, which is the accountability wall. So these 3 ladies, we created this strategy for them for the next 4 weeks. I told them post accountability every single day. Their leaderboard will go up. Maybe they'll be the top 3 again next month, but you have an opportunity to be one of the top 3 if you're in the 4, 5, and 6. And what was I going to say? And then every time they post their accountability for the day, I'm going to deepen that and really help them expand and create more momentum going forward. For you, use that accountability wall as well. If any of these trainings make sense to you, go ahead and do them also. That will be helpful. I'll support you as well. If you don't want to use these trainings, that is totally fine. This is just a bonus and how we're going to build momentum and community for everybody by taking our group coaching call and expanding and deepening it for everyone. Because the questions that come up and the conversations that come up every month are based on people doing the inner work at this very moment. And they probably have some of the same life stresses that are going on in the world and maybe some of the same views. And so maybe some of the things that they say are going to help you get through something because you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that is exactly how I feel. So go ahead and do that. I'm very excited about this. I really look forward to supporting you this month. And to ladies 1 through 3, thank you so much for showing up and being present and just being such a wonderful support system for everybody that was on the call, including myself. For the ladies who were runners up 4, 5, and 6, I really encourage you to participate in the group even more so that we can get that leaderboard going up for you and possibly see you on the next call.